Live from KCAU TV in Sioux City, Iowa, this is ABC9 News This Morning.
Good morning, Siouxland. Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday, June 25th. We're glad to have you joining us this morning. Matt, I can't say it enough. I really like the forecast so far this week. It's been beautiful.
Yeah, we've been lucking out so far. It's been pretty average in the afternoons. The humidity has been down. Yeah. You even said you were turning off your air conditioner
yes.
last night.
And a good time for all of those volunteers who are out working in Pilger and the flooded areas all around Siouxland to be out and cleaning up and picking up the pieces that we continually talk about. Yeah. Perfect weather for that.
Yeah, Mother Nature finally giving us a bit of a break, kind of cooperating in that regard after she slammed us. We're now getting some chances to pick in, like you said, pick up the pieces. Today is going to be really no different. Excuse me. It is going to be a pretty sun-filled afternoon. Even right now here this morning, looking pretty good on our Fitzpatrick Auto Skycam HD in the Storm Lake area. Maybe a few high, wispy cirrus clouds here or there, especially just along the horizon. But that's really about it. You can see really, again, just a nice peaceful and quiet scene as we kick off another day here in Siouxland. Now, our satellite radar picture for us, we do have a little bit of cloud cover yesterday in the evening time. We watched as some light showers tried to move on in. They really kind of dissipated by the time they reached the metro. And then we have some cloud cover to our south, a little bit off to the west as well. But this is slowly kind of eroding away, not looking at a ton of cloud cover here this morning. Maybe, again, just here and there with a few wispy high clouds. Get a look at our temperature trends from the 60s this morning into the 80s later this afternoon, with the chance there for maybe a thunderstorm starting on Thursday. Give you a look at those forecast details coming up.
All right, thanks, Matt. Soil erosion isn't as easy to see as flooding or fires, but experts say it's incredibly harmful to crops. And if you don't look for it, it can hurt things for years down the road. Rachel Krause has more.
Soil erosion isn't your typical ag problem. It naturally happens to a small degree when topsoil washes off. But heavy rainfall can cause big problems in the fields.
It's something that goes on continually, but we're fortunate enough to be in a soil where, at least at this part of this point in time, we can see soil erosion occur, and it still can be very productive in this part of the state.
For many farmers, the heavy rainfall is causing their protective measures like terraces to break down. Some say it's chance who it hits hardest. Others chalk it up to experience.
Usually when we get rain events like we just had, there's some erosion. The time of year makes a difference. It's a little later in the season, but we're seeing more no-till, and that's helping.
The problem compounds when you consider it's early in the planting season, making it easy to wash away most of the nutrients and the good soil. But soil erosion doesn't hit farms immediately, which is why experts say you need to start planning for it now.
You can see we have soil erosion, but we're still growing a crop. So this is more of a longer-term chronic impact.
But many agree this big problem is often moved to the back seat when other weather issues come up.
We hope there will be a harvest, yes. But the kind of weather we've had around us, you never know.
In Woodbury County, Iowa, Rachel Krause, ABC9 News.
It may not seem like a big problem, but it can haunt you down the road if you don't work to prevent it. Now, the Natural Resources Conservation Service, or NRCS, can help farmers plan out what to do about soil erosion. For more information on how to get a plan for soil erosion, just visit our website, that's SiouxlandMatters.com. Well, surely you've noticed the influx of cyclists on the road, and with RAGBRAI coming up just around the corner, thousands are expected to be riding. So it's important for both drivers and cyclists to be safe. Drivers can never be too cautious. First, always give cyclists an extra look and pass with the space needed, which is a recommended 3 feet. Don't always assume you can just sneak by.
Slowing down and taking a couple extra seconds. If there's oncoming cars and you can't get around, don't try to squeeze the cyclist off the edge of the road. Just wait for a second.
But the ride is a two-way street. Cyclists need to be safe and follow the rules just like anyone else. Don't ride with headphones in, wear brightly colored clothing, and always signal your turns. Turning our attention now to motorcycle safety. Believe it or not, we're right in the middle of the deadliest streak for motor hogs. And it's all because of one very simple afterthought. Here's Lori Patton from our affiliate.
When it comes to motorcycle safety, the danger goes both ways. drivers that are dangerous to motorcyclists.
Majority of the motorcyclists are hit. Someone hits them.
Yeah.
It's usually head. When they lay them down, it's pelvis and leg, arm.
Motorcyclists dangerous to other drivers.
Their goal is speed. Speed, tricks. I mean, I watch them pass them down 65, standing up on their handlebars, doing stupid stuff. And the unfortunate thing is he won't just injure himself. He'll injure a passenger.
Mercy trauma nurse Velvet Schultz says when a motorcycle trauma comes to the ER, they want a vital piece of information.
Helmeted, not helmeted. Makes a huge difference in where we go.
The helmet, says Schultz, and a community safety expert, can be the difference between life and life support.
Because that helmet shock absorbed. And yeah, we're worried you got a head injury, but we know it's not going to be as significant as if you're unhelmeted. It's a difference between I'm going to transfer this egg out of its shell or in its shell.
Community safety specialist Lori Miner says their classes are designed to give new motorcyclists the skills they need to survive.
But the whole idea of the safety class is to give you skills of survivability. So when the car does pull out in front of you, you know what to do. We want them to be seen. We want them to be safe.
Schultz, who is a motorcycle rider, says helmet critics are right. Motorcyclists failing to wear a helmet won't necessarily die.
We placed 6 20 to 26-year-old kids in nursing homes last year.
An accident in Buena Vista County has left one man dead. Authorities have now confirmed it was a Missouri man. According to the sheriff, 63-year-old James Hoffman of Weston, Missouri, was traveling on County Road M54 when he ran a stop sign and collided with a semi on Highway 3. The car was lodged underneath a trailer. Hoffman was pronounced dead at the scene. If you have a habit of texting and driving, it's time to kick the habit, because in less than a week, a new texting and driving ban in the state of South Dakota will be getting the green light. The law makes it illegal to text and drive, but only as a secondary offense. That means you have to be pulled over for something else first before you're actually ticketed for such. And if you do get a ticket, it'll set you back $100. Now in Vermilion, texting while driving is already a primary offense, and it sounds like it'll be staying that way. There's a new option on the table for all South Dakotans looking to renew their driver's license. A new law aims to make the process more convenient by lifting the requirement for folks under 65 to provide an eye health statement from an optometrist. This basically means those under the age of 65 will not have to go to an actual exam station. Instead, they can renew online. But for anyone over 65, they do still have to provide that vision statement. One man is in custody after allegedly pointing a gun at Union County Sheriff Dan Limoges. According to Sheriff Limoges, he responded to a call just before 9 a.m. yesterday after residents in the area reported a distraught man firing a gun just north of Jefferson. As Limoges approached the suspect, he pointed the rifle towards Limoges and began walking toward his patrol car. Now, the suspect eventually complied. He was then taken into custody. The man, whose name has not yet been released, is now facing 2 felony charges. The incident is still being investigated. Well, it was created right here in Iowa, and it could keep your kids safe in the classroom. We're talking about the sleeve, and it's really been gaining ground ever since its launch earlier this month. 5 middle school teachers in Muscatine, Iowa are all behind the project that's been about a year in the making. Finally, it's getting some national attention. The sleeve is a steel case that fits around a door's closer arm, securing it from the inside in the event of a shooting. Last week, they hand-delivered the first multi-sleeve order all the way up to Green Bay. Now, we should mention, every sleeve is made in Muscatine at Fabricators Plus. Thank goodness they're on summer break right now, because it's been pretty hectic for the teachers behind this contraption.
It's been overwhelming. The response has been incredible. Life-changing, I think is appropriate.
Now, the process to make one of these sleeves, it's actually pretty quick. And that, too, is a good thing, because orders are coming in much faster than they expected.
It's an incredible device. We want to be a part of something big, safety-wise. The shootings, anything we can do to stop that would be great. And if we're part of that, that's even better.
For now, the teachers still plan on returning to the classroom in the fall, saying they don't want to bank on the sleeve's success, but also saying, hey, anything could happen at this point. Individual sleeves are being sold for about $65 a pop. Several candidates are eyeing the empty seat on the Norfolk City Council. Susan Reisinger has more details.
5 candidates have applied for a vacant seat on the Norfolk City Council. They'll be interviewed Thursday, and Monday night, Mayor Sue Fuchman will present her choice to the City Council for approval. The vacancy was created by the resignation earlier this month of Dale Coy. Cumming County Extension educator Larry Howard says 16 to 18 farmsteads and feedlots and about 50 quarters of ground were damaged last week when tornadoes skirted the northwest edge of his county. Howard says in the south and east portions of Cumming County, heavy rains have caused lowland flooding. And Tahazuka Park is going to the dogs this weekend. The Mid-America Working Terrier Association is holding its working terrier trials Saturday and Sunday from 8:30 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. both days. Organizer Patty Podliska expects competitors from as far east as Michigan and as far west as California. These and more stories can be heard on News Talk WJAG, Light Rock 97.5 and 106 Kicks.
Coming up, the Bandits handed out some hardware last night with Coach Strobing getting a little emotional. Much more on that and the future of the Bandits all up ahead.
And we're still waiting on our next round of rainfall here in Siouxland. It looks like it probably will be coming tomorrow and then lasting through the weekend. I'll give you all the details coming up.
Celebrate Ram commercial truck season at Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Sioux City. Purchase this 2014 Ram 1500 for only $129 a month. Your family, your friend, your dealer.
As members of a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. Learn more about the power of your co-op membership at togetherwesave.com.
Brought to you by Woodbury County Rural Electric Cooperative, your Touchstone Energy partner.
Exclusively at Greenberg's Jewelers at the Southern Hills Mall.
Got a battery for this? Sure do. There you go. Thanks.
Bring it in and we'll bring it to life. Find every battery for every need. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Need a battery? Visit your local Interstate All Battery Center today.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a spa and swim spa Friday through Sunday. Major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2014 inventory at Sioux City Convention Center. Over 100 spas on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Spas starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 12-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old spa. Friday through Sunday at Sioux City Convention Center. Free admission. Free parking. Call 1-888-SPA-SALE.
Have you checked out our Woodhouse Hyundai dealership? Right here in Sioux City. Over 20,000 customers annually choose Woodhouse. You should too. Your family, your friend, your dealer. Woodhouse Hyundai in Sioux City.
Now, your local forecast from Siouxland's weather team.
Well, many folks around Siouxland have really started to clean up from all the flooding, but a couple areas are still of concern right now. They're all along the Little Sioux River. Another update for these flood stages for you right now. In the Lynn Grove area along the Little Sioux River, we should be in the minor flood stage by tonight. That water still receding. The Little Sioux River at Correctionville could slightly rise this afternoon before falling to the minor flood stage by tomorrow morning. And the Little Sioux River at Cherokee, that is still currently falling and into the minor flood stage most likely by this morning. So good news all around there as flood waters continue to subside and recede, and it gives everyone around the area the chance to start to dry out and really start to pick up all the pieces from the flooding that we've seen here in Siouxland for about the last week or so. Colorado Skycam HD in the Sioux City area looking very nice this morning. Few high wispy clouds around the region. Definitely, though, a morning. Grab the sunglasses as you step outside because that morning commute going to be on the bright side. Could be dealing with a little bit of glare on the area roads. And right now sitting at 61 degrees, very comfortable. That's our average low temperature for this time of year. And a dew point of 59. So our dew points right now that are in the 50s, that's usually relatively comfortable. It is starting to push into the higher range, though, when you get up close to the 60 mark. That's when it could be a little bit on the oppressive side. But still, right now, looking pretty good. Temperatures across the west are definitely cooler. 57 in Yankton with a 58 in Norfolk, 57 for us in Sheldon, 59 in Cherokee, 64 if you're just waking up and stepping outside in the Orange City area there. In Orange City and also Storm Lake at 64 are our two warmest spots across the region here on this Wednesday. So for the most part, dew points are in the 50s, so we're still, again, relatively comfortable, but one area of 60s in Storm Lake at 61, so starting to creep up just a little bit. It looks like for the most part, though, it should be a relatively humidity-free or oppressively humidity-free kind of day. Satellite and radar picture for us. Cloud cover down to our south, a little bit more off to our west. It's slowly becoming thinner and thinner, and we also are watching a little bit of precipitation that continues to evaporate over the western portions of Nebraska. We should not be looking for any kind of precip here in Siouxland this morning, and really not looking for anything this afternoon either. Stormcast HD shows that we'll be seeing plenty of sunshine. Now, it does bring in a few light rain showers here or there, very, very isolated spots. I think that for the most part, though, we stay dry. Not going to be looking for any kind of shower activity on this Wednesday. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy conditions. We should once again stay dry tonight, but then we're going to watch as some showers and thunderstorms develop tomorrow morning, and they will become a little bit more widespread, even though they'll be very few and far between throughout our Thursday afternoon. 85 degrees, the high today. We're going to look to dip it down into the 60s with an overnight low of 64, and then our 7-day forecast 80s all the way through our extended range with a 20% chance of showers tomorrow, and then we're going to slowly increase those chances once we get through Friday and the weekend to about 30 to 40%. The good news, though, we were originally looking for about 30 to 40% of showers, chance for showers tomorrow, but again, now down to 20, and we continue to drop those shower chances even over the weekend, now down to 40% from the 50 and 60% kind of probability we were looking at even yesterday. Just so we're always good when we have too much rain like we have had. If we can get a couple of dry days like we're getting, it's always a good thing.
Yes, absolutely. It's nice to see that. We mentioned that it's good to have that dry weather right now, especially for those volunteers that are out there helping.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, the season is over now, and it's time to hand out awards. The Sioux City Bandits held their annual awards banquet last night, and Travis is in to tell us who took home MVP honors.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Hump Day. The 2014 season is in the books for the Bandits. Unfortunately, didn't have a happy ending. Sioux City lost to Wichita in the Champions Bowl. Last night, they put a wrap on the season. They did it with some tears after they give out their postseason awards on the turf of the Tyson Event Center. The Offensive Player of the Year went to quarterback Scott Jensen. He holds pretty much every passing record there is that a Bandit can hold. Ron Franklin is this year's defensive MVP. He led the league with 9 interceptions and was all over the field making huge plays all season long. The team MVP went to the league's leading rusher, Johnny Bentley, which is a fitting way for him to go out because Bentley is retiring. He won't be back next season.
They consider me as being a leader and, helping our team win games and stuff like that, so it's really appreciated.
I think leading the league in rushing had something to do with it, though, too, don't you think?
Maybe so.
It feels good after the year I had, and going from last year to this year, made probably a complete 180, and, stepped up in the film room and stepped up on the field, and it feels honored to be honored by my coaches and my players to give me offensive MVP.
It feels good, man. Hard work pays off and you get what you put in, and I think this is a result of that, to be able to receive an award, and everybody doesn't have that opportunity, so it's an honor.
Now, the future of the Bandits is also in question for next season. Bob Scott announced last night that the team is up for sale, but Bob's not just going to hand the franchise over to anybody. He's looking for a very specific buyer.
They have to be here and they have to be committed to this community. We're not, if we do sell, it's not going to be necessarily to the highest bidder if we even find a buyer. You know, if there's no buyers to surface, that's fine. But even if they're one that surfaces and not willing to commit to what we think is important in this community, and you come to our games on Saturday night, kids are terribly important to us. And if we don't have that commitment out of a prospective buyer, we're going to own the team. We're going to run the team again.
Translation, football will be back in Sioux City next season without a question. Don't worry about that, Bandits fans. That's a look at your morning sports. Jess, back to you.
Thanks, Trav. Coming up in this week's Angie's List, how to properly seal coat your driveway. That and more right after the break.
This is Mia's new Honda CR-V. The same car that will let the world know that she loves rock and roll. With the Econ button that will help her save a little gas when she sees that same barn house the second time.
Hey, Dad, it's
And
me.
the Bluetooth that will assure her she can always move back home and pay rent.
Okay, Dad.
Start something special now with the CR-V from KBB.com's most trusted car brand. Visit your local Honda dealer today.
I want your Summer Red scratch tickets.
So you can enter the 100K giveaway?
That's right, and be one of 15 to win a share of 100 grand.
Ain't bought 'em yet.
You're a dirty liar.
Am not.
R2.
Am not.
R2. Relax. You can buy Summer Red scratch tickets at any Nebraska lottery retailer.
Well, let's stop feuding and buy some tickets.
Sorry about calling you a dirty liar. Oh, well, the liar part anyway.
Hi, folks. Jensen here with some mighty big news. Volkswagen has come to Sioux City. We couldn't be more excited. Just an incredible advanced product line with Jetta, Passat, Beetle, Golf, Touring, Tiguan, and more. Volkswagen is here and now part of Jensen dealerships. We are pumped up. You gotta stop and peruse the entire VW lineup. How can I be so sure? Because I'm Jensen. Thanks.
This morning. Come here. We want to show you something. It's not going to hurt. But it won't hurt bad. It won't hurt. No, it's not bad. I would say it's not. It's not painful. No. In fact, it's not painful even at all.
Melissa McCarthy and yes, Mark Wahlberg too are coming to
Good morning, America.
Next Live, Melissa McCarthy. She's Tammy's tough girl. Plus, Susan Boyle performs and Brooklyn Decker.
I now know where the rest of my legs went.
Wednesday at 9 on ABC9.
The condition of your driveway can make or break your home's curb appeal. In today's Angie's List report, Jenna Renstrom tells us how seal coating can help protect your driveway.
Whether your driveway is concrete or asphalt, if you want to keep it looking like new, you need to understand the importance of sealing. Sealant sits on top of your driveway and acts as a barrier against the elements, protecting it from damage caused by oil and gas spills, rain, snow, and sun.
With the oxidation process, the summer starts to break down the sealer with the sun beating on it. And just imagine if it's a 90-degree July day, the asphalt and also the concrete surfaces is up to 100 degrees with the sun just beating on it all day. So it just starts the deterioration process also.
Angie's List says seal coating can cost between $200 and $300. Most companies base their estimates on the square footage of your driveway, so beware of a price that sounds too good to be true.
Driveway repair is no different than any other contracting service. Be cautious of someone that's coming door to door and offering you a great deal because they have leftover materials from someone else. Do your research, pick your company. A deal today should be a deal tomorrow.
Experts say you should also ask how the contractor plans to spread the sealer.
There's two ways to seal the asphalt. It's either brush apply it or to spray it. All residential driveways should be brushed, not sprayed. So if someone is saying they want to spray your driveway, they can really water down the sealer.
Temperature is also key when sealing driveways. Usually anything over 65 degrees is good. With this Angie's List report, I'm Jenna Renstrom, ABC9 News.
So how often should you seal your driveway? Angie's List says that depends on your location. If you live in a cold climate with harsh winters and numerous freeze-thaw cycles, you'll have to seal every 1 to 2 years. Those in much milder climates can often go as little as every 4 years. All right, time now to check our local forecast. Matt, how is Wednesday looking for us?
Well, it looks like Wednesday is going to be very nice. It's pretty much going to be another copy of Tuesday, which was great as well. We'll see temperatures later this afternoon that are probably up into the 80s. Right now, though, if you're just waking up, getting ready to step out the door, start your Wednesday, it's pretty nice out there. Temperatures average for the most part, with some 60s, even some 50s out there this morning, which actually feels pretty good. I bet 58 in Norfolk, 57 in Yankton, 61 in the metro, but then 59 in Cherokee. And our warmest spots right now this morning, Orange City and Storm Lake, both coming in at 64 degrees. Now, our dew points could be a little bit high in a few areas, including Storm Lake, where it's at 63. But pretty much everywhere else across Siouxland, we're looking at the 50s, which is right outside that oppressively humid range. And we're actually probably pretty comfortable this morning with the humidity. 85 this afternoon for the high, mostly sunny. And heat index of 86. Again, it could be a little bit humid later this afternoon. But make sure if you are out and about, lots of sunscreen. UV index 9 out of 11. Very high for us this afternoon.
Yes, sunscreen, sunscreen. You don't want to get burnt like I did last week.
No, you don't want to do that.
All right. Let's check in now with Amy Robach to see what's coming up this morning on GMA.
Good morning. Coming up next on Good Morning America, extreme weather pummeling the Midwest, 3 reported tornadoes in Indiana, and flash flooding from Texas to Pennsylvania. Ginger Z has more on the severe weather headed your way. It's next on GMA.
Coming up, a story that proves you can never be too young to learn CPR. How a young girl saved her father from certain death. Stay tuned.
If you're looking for a car with an interior as great as its exterior, your search is over.
Look no further than the Toyota RAV4. With its dynamic exterior and refined interior, the RAV4 has advanced technology options and generous cargo capacity. And of course, every RAV4 comes with the legendary reliability that Toyota is known for. Get the Toyota Care lease on a 2014 RAV4 for $199 a month, or get 0% APR on a new RAV4.
It all starts at Toyota. Let's go places.
A great idea can spark at any moment. Keep it fueled with an awesome breakfast from McDonald's.
Anything's possible, especially now that you can get any 2 McMuffin sandwiches, biscuit sandwiches, or one of each for just $3.50 for a limited time.
Menards Garden Center is your landscaping headquarters. With over 50 different types of concrete block, decorative rocks, and more, you'll find everything for the perfect backyard. For a patio or garden walkway, pick up cobblestone pavers in 2 colors starting at just 49 cents each. Mountain Blend Landscaping Rock adds the perfect dash of color for any garden. All this and much more is on sale now at Menards Garden Center. The perfect place to start your next project.
Save big money at Menards.
The 2014 Nissan Altima with up to 270 horses, blind spot warning, and advanced drive assist. Save up to $1,500 or get 0% APR for up to 60 months. Nothing beats an Altima except another Altima. Innovation that excites. Shop ChooseNissan.com.
All right, with the clock ticking, representatives from Sioux City's Argosy Casino will be meeting with the IRGC in a special meeting this morning at 8 a.m. in a last-ditch effort to save the casino from a shutdown. We'll have all the coverage of that meeting later on today. And before we go, her name is Allie DeMarco, and she's only 12 years old, but in a moment's notice, she saved her father's life. Just before Allie headed out the door for school, her dad called her name. She found him passed out on the floor. He had been riding his stationary bike. Her dad, Michael, had suffered sudden cardiac death. Allie called 911. She had just completed an infant CPR course a few months earlier so she could babysit her younger sister. Remembering what she learned, she performed CPR until the ambulance arrived. Now, her father was in a coma for a week, but survived the near-death experience thanks to his daughter. Now, he jokes that he owes her big time. Such a great story. Lucky for that little girl that she went to CPR class, what do you know? And it came in handy.
Came in handy, and not the way she probably expected it
No.
to come in handy either. And hopefully she'll never have to use that training again, but like, has it, which is always good.
Yeah, and to be in a coma for a week, her dad, it's nice to see he came out and everyone is doing okay.
Yeah, it's great, great story.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll get one final check at the forecast, which is pretty great as well. It's going to be a nice warm afternoon for us, lots of sunshine once again, much like our Tuesday. We'll see a high temperature of 85. Our humidity will maybe be slightly higher, but for the most part, still should be a pretty comfortable afternoon on this Wednesday. Now, tomorrow, a few showers, maybe isolated rumble of thunder. Could move in the afternoon hours, 87 degrees, the high on Thursday. And then we'll see those shower chances increase on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But the good news, they're not quite as high as even they were just 24 hours ago. So maybe a little bit of a break coming from even the shower chances that we're predicting.
All right, sounds good to me. That does it for us. We're back here at 11:30 with more news and weather. GMA is up next.